Hey Brent, thanks for submitting your landing page to Indie Hackers. You're saying you're still in the early stages of working on the project, and I have identified a few issues with your landing page that I would like to discuss with you about. So let's get into it right away. Let me pull it up. Okay, here we go. So, Cassini, build your next app at rocket speed. Write your app, not boilerplate. Okay, so the first thing you want to do with your H1 is to speak about what is the issue that your user are facing when they are building .NET apps. And you want to give them enough insight that they basically feel like they want to scroll down to learn more about your service. So here you're write your app, not your boilerplate. That is not really a pain. It's not an issue. You're just giving them the answer, right? So you should probably reconsider this H1 and write instead something that is a little bit more convincing to them. So something that could be like, I mean, for example, looking at this H2, focus on your app starting now. Even this, it's very superficial. So I'm gonna think about a good H1, but first let's go throughout the page. Get Cassini, you have a call to action here, and you have a call to action up here in the navigation. They are the same call to action, and they both have the same color in the background, although this one is a little bit dimmed. I would change the call to action background color here to be way less dim. You want to make sure that this one first call to action has all the focus when people load your page. Another thing that you're missing from this is having a little bit of text nearby your call to action or even on your call to action actually, that gives you a better understanding of what happens once I get Cassini. Like maybe you want to be more descriptive, and that could be, sign up for Cassini or explore, this solution for, or something like that. Obviously, the text, you have to come up with it, and it needs to basically explicitly explain to your users, to your audience, what is the reaction, or rather, what is the next step once they click on the button. So get Cassini is too generic. That's my advice. So it costs you more to not use Cassini. Okay, I like this. Okay, now tell me why. Starting an app from scratch is time consuming. It's time consuming. Why waste time implementing all of these? Payment authentication. Okay. The problem here that I see, I understand that these are all kind of like pain points that come with implementing .NET apps. I think most of this would actually apply to most developers. The problem is that the image that you have right here, it's not really relevant. The reason I'm saying that, it's just a stock image, and it doesn't really give me an idea of why is it time consuming. Instead, if you had like a chart showing me how much time people typically spend on implementing payments, authentication, etc., that would be way more obvious to me. I'm saying, oh yeah, you're totally right, Brent. Like I'm spending 13 hours trying to figure out how to set up a payment provider, and you could give it to me in like seconds, right? I assume that's what your value proposition is. Cassini lets you focus on what makes you unique. This is very blah. By blah, I mean like, sure, it makes you focus on what unique, but the pain is that you're saving time and you're reinvesting the time in the things that would help you scale your company. And by that I mean, for example, you could think more about marketing strategies, you could think more about how to find customers, etc., and therefore the text here is a little bit just like too marketing, but not like focused enough. And then in the paragraph, in the content, you talk about, that you give enough elements to start your app today. You give a full skeleton application, great documentation with source code. So each one of these are basically features, and I would like to read more about them. So let's scroll and find out more. And also, the image isn't very descriptive of, focusing. Like obviously this is not a guy focusing or a person focusing on anything. It's just looking at me. I don't know. Features, payments, over $20,000 worth of value. payments. Okay, open API, yeah, user, okay, these are great. You might, these little things, you might have a little animation when I hover them, a read more button that could go here, that you could directly link to a sub page where you basically explain more about the features each time. I like that you have these, support is planned. Now, pricing, okay. Let's talk about pricing. You have three prices. Obviously, this one is the one in the middle. You want people to grab this one. Get Cassini, get, so the same call to action for each one of the pricing cards. I feel like this one should be different from this one and from this one. For example, contact us, get Cassini. There, you can see there's some kind of like disconnect here between the call to action and the pricing. Maybe the call to action text here would be contact us, and the pricing would be, enterprise pricing rather, available after an assessment. Improve your business today. It costs you more to not use Cassini. Get Cassini. You're repeating the same call to action. You're not giving me anything to look forward to. And by that I mean, here usually people put like a free resource or what people call as a lead magnet. So I exchange my private data, and by that I mean my email address, in exchange for something, or maybe a YouTube video that shows a little bit of how Cassini works, rather than just repeating yourself. The footer is scarce, like there isn't really a footer. There is nothing about your social media, about your team, about who you are. You could replicate the ones that are up here in the bottom, but it's up to you. So overall, first of all, think about your copy a little bit better. Make sure that you focus on the user that you're targeting and the pains that you're trying to solve for them, and show those pains and how you're solving them with your solution. And try not to be too like marketing-ish, blah blah blah, because people read thousands of these pages every day as they browse the internet. You want to stand out. And the second point is images. Try and be more focused on the images and showing me the text and the image. They need to be aligned. And ultimately, your call to actions, they're a little bit all over the place, especially here in the footer or the pre-footer area. I hope this is enough of an overview in 7 minutes about what I would change. If you feel like this feedback is not worth enough, just feel free to add me on Twitter, and I can give you a few more insights about what I would change and do differently. If not, I hope you found this video interesting, and I wish you good luck, actually. So yeah, thanks for watching.